Hey, you guys, back with another message. I was about to hop out the car, but God reminded me I need to record this message. So I sat in the car and I was gonna hop out the car and run in the house because it's raining. But now that I'm sitting here, it done slacked up with the rain. So God wanted this message to get out. But God was letting me know in the spirit that we have to know when to intercede for people. Know when to intercede. Every moment or everything that God shows us sometimes does not require intercession. And God had took my mind back to the book of Exodus with Moses. Moses had went up to the mountain for 40 days the first time, and God had told Moses towards the end of the 40 days, or at the end of the 40 days, to go back down the mountain because the people were had built the golden calf and worshiped the golden calf. Was starting to worship idol gods again, starting to do idolatry. Well, normally when the Israelites do something, Moses would go to God and intercede on their behalf. This time he didn't. This time he allowed 3,000 people to be killed because of their disobedience. We have to understand when to intercede and when not to intercede. After the 3,000 people were killed, the people that were remaining, they went to Moses and asked Moses to go and asked God to intercede on their behalf again to God, and Moses went back up the mountain again for another 40 days. Y'all, we have to know when to intercede for someone and when not to intercede for someone. People understand and they know the power of your prayers. The Israelites knew the power of Moses being able to intercede for them. And the reason why I'm saying this because this ties into the previous message that God is going to strip people rewards away. And some names I saw, some names I didn't see, but one person, I have interceded for them before. And the first time I interceded for that person was because they were being blackmailed. They were being set up by two women, and I saw it in the spirit. And I began to war and I began to pray. And what they were trying to do was set this person up for a public humiliation. Trying to do a public humiliation ritual, but it didn't work because my prayers interceded. Now, they were successful in hacking this person social media, but they was not successful in publicly humiliating them. Okay, because I had interceded, and when I began to intercede and pray, I told them in the spirit to cut ties. That he had to cut ties. The person had to cut ties. Then seeing this person again in the other video that I talked about with the rewards, this same person, I can't intercede this time because they didn't learn their lesson. They're being very rebellious, like the Israelites was very, very rebellious. And then when things happen, they want to go to Moses and cry out to Moses so Moses can cry out to God on their behalf. I told God this time when God had took my mind back to Exodus and how the Israelites were going back and forth with Moses and how Moses would go and intercede on their behalf and they'll go right back to doing the wrong thing. And just, I told God, I said, God, if that's the case this time, then so be it. Because they need to learn their lesson. Like I said before, y'all, a lot of people know the power of your prayers and they'll come running to you, wanting you to pray for them, or, God will show you things in the spirit about them. And sometimes we need to change our prayer up. God, thank you, Holy Spirit. Pray for them to endure. My prayer was, I said, God, if this is your will to bring forth correction for them to get it right, then so be it. I said, because they got to learn this lesson. It's time out. We are in times. It's time out for them to quit playing with you. That was my prayer. My prayer was not to intercede and tell God to have mercy and no, God, because my prayers, y'all, our prayers, when you are a person that can see in the spirit and things of that nature, you have 9 times out of 10 you have the power of an intercessor. You have the gift of an intercessor. So your prayers are very powerful. Your words are very powerful. And your words and your prayers can block things for people, can stop things from people. And this person know that. God revealed to me, this person, he knows that, he knows this about you. He knows that. He knows your gifts. He see your gifts in spirit. He knows this about you. But this time I cannot, because you got to learn your lesson. You got to learn to stop playing with God. The Israelites in the wilderness kept playing with God over and over and over again. You got to learn to stop playing with God. And so in this season, we got to know when to intercede and when not to intercede, because people do understand the powers of your prayers. Another example that God dropped in my spirit. You know how in a family, when something go wrong, there's one particular person that a person always go to in a family and ask for prayer. Ask them to pray for them and ask them to intercede to God on their behalf. Y'all, that's not coincidence. 9 out of 10, that person is the intercessor of the family, and that person prayers is powerful. And because that person will go before you and intercede, go before God on your behalf and intercede on your behalf, it will stop a lot of things from occurring. It will block a lot of things from happening because someone interceded on your behalf. We see the power of intercession prayers and intercessors all throughout the Bible. Even when it came to Peter, when Peter was in prison. And the people of the town began to pray for Peter, and that's when God sent the angel to release Peter from prison. That was started through the power of prayer. And a lot of people know that you have powerful prayers. But at the end of the day, they got to stop playing with God. And they got to stop playing with you. And some people are not going to learn their lesson until they get a hit on the hand. And God is really about to hit them on their hand. Till they get a pop. And this is about to be the pop. Because when you know better, you do better. I told you guys before that a lot of people, they try to pimp God. They think they playing God, but they playing themselves. God is omnipotent. He's all-knowing. How are you trying to pimp God? How are you trying to play God? How are you trying to act like God don't see you? God see you. But it's time out for the manipulation. It's time out for the conniving. It's time out for the false prayers of, God, if you get me out of this, I will never do this again. And they know they're going to go right back to it. It's time out for that, y'all. God is not playing. When I tell you in this season, God is not playing, and God had let me know, like, was pretty much showing me this time you can't intercept this one. Because it's going to take this for this person to get it together. It's going to take this for this person to get it right. The last time you interceded, it stopped some things. This time, they're going to have to learn the hard way. And it can be hard, y'all, when you truly love somebody, to see somebody go through. But at the same time, you got to let them go through so they can learn. So they can do better. It's time out for a lot of things. It is time out for a lot of things. I will say that again. It's time out. It's time for these people to get it together. It's time for these people to start operating and walking fully in their gifts. And stop trying to use and pimp other children of God for their gifts because they know they're walking upright. It's time for them to walk upright. It's time for them to live holy. It's time for them to live a righteous life and to stop playing. All right. So know in this season who to intercede for. Thank you, Holy Spirit. God reminded me of Jeremiah, brought it back in my spirit, where God told Jeremiah to get up and stop praying for them and keep on going about their business, because the same people that he was praying for was plotting his demise. But Jeremiah was also an intercessor. But sometimes you can't intercede for people. Sometimes you have to keep on going because they got to learn their lesson. And the people that were plotting against him to kill him, they had to learn their lesson. They had to learn their lesson. Point blank, period. Okay. So I love you guys. I pray that you all have an amazing day. Know when and when not to intercede. Okay. And I will chat with you all later.